Hey guys, Sethly here back with another Apex Legends video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. In this video, I wanted to cover some news and information we got over the past day or so. And if you haven't been keeping up to date with Apex, a lot of stuff just came out, including crossplay, the aftermarket event, and more. So if you haven't already, make sure to check out my past couple of videos for the patch notes and caustic heirloom opening, as well as a couple other things. I'll link them down below in the description. But before we get into the new information we got from the dev stream and just devs in general, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that sub button to stay up to date with all things Apex. It's the best way to support me, so don't forget to subscribe. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. I'll link the dev stream down below if you guys want to check it out for yourselves, but I'm going to be covering all the main announcements they made that aren't included in the event patch notes. Starting off with a highly requested feature, especially since crossplay is out now: cross progression. I'll play the clip of the dev stream where they bring up cross progression on screen right now.
There is no cross progression right now. We think this is a valuable feature for sure, but it won't be available at launch. And we'll have a little more talk about that whenever Apex launches on Steam later this year. And
as you guys heard, they said although they believe cross progression is a valuable feature, it is not currently in the game. However, the good news is they also said that they will talk more about cross progression later in the year when Apex is released on Steam. Although we don't know exactly when Apex on Steam will be released, it's good to hear they haven't given up on cross progression, and based on what they said, I think it's very likely that cross progression of skins and cosmetics to different platforms will be added as a feature sometime later this year. Now let's get on to the next bit of information we got in the dev stream. This topic is a really important one, and when I heard them mention it in the dev stream, I knew I had to let you guys know because I've consistently been seeing a ton of comments on my videos complaining about everything wrong with the sound quality and audio codec in Apex. And some people may say that the community is being too picky about the audio, and it works fine for them, but trust me, the complaints and feedback are definitely justified. I'll play the clip of the devs talking about Apex's audio and what they plan to do with it on screen right now for you guys.
audio feedbacks that we've been hearing from the community. We know that there are issues with the audio right now. I just felt like it was really important that we say that. We are, every patch we work on audio, and it's just a beast that we're battling with. So I wanted to give a little hope that we are doing some more significant changes to address this in the future. Just know that we know, and we're looking at it and we're working on it. A lot of people are working on some big stuff to try and make this better. So,
as you guys clearly heard, even the devs at Respawn are admitting that there are many things wrong with audio, and they know about it. While the dev did say that they work on audio every single patch, he also said audio is basically a beast they have to keep battling. The good news is that not only do they work on audio in every single patch, but there are also quote-unquote significant changes that they are doing to address this in the future. He also said a lot of people are working on some big stuff to make it better. So all in all, we got some great news about audio, and even though we might have to wait a bit longer for the fixes, it's comforting to know Respawn has heard our feedback and is doing their best to address the issues. I'm just hoping they'll be able to push out the changes to audio by the end of Season 6. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on any news we get about the audio in the future, but on to the next thing. So if you guys didn't know, the event patch included a nerf to the devotion. The nerf increased the Devo's hipfire spread at a base level and also increased the spread added while firing. And in order to keep the LMG weapon category similar, they also made those changes to the Spitfire, except they also reduced horizontal recoil on the Spitfire. Now I'm assuming that's to compensate for the increased spread. Now, when the devs covered these changes in the dev stream, they also said something pretty interesting about the Spitfire. I'll play the clip right now.
We don't really want to nerf the Spitfire very hard, so we're also improving the recoil accuracy and reducing the amount of recoil randomness horizontally it has. That should make it a little more controllable, and if you learn the pattern, it's going to be more consistent. That may or may not be enough. We're going to keep our eye on it. If the Spitfire feels like it's really been nerfed after this hipfire nerf, then we'll make another buff to it to try and bring it back up to speed.
As you guys heard, a dev said that the Spitfire's reduced recoil may or may not be enough, so they're going to keep an eye on it, and if it feels like it has really been nerfed, then they're going to give it another buff to try to bring it back up to speed. So we might be getting a Spitfire buff in the near future. But like I said earlier, they clearly stated that their goal is to get LMGs somewhat similar in power, which is why they made those changes to the Spitfire and Devotion. However, there is another LMG that they left out, and that of course is the LStar. A Respawn dev commented on the Apex subreddit saying the LStar is sorta a weird gun. It's in the LMG category, but it isn't really a full LMG in terms of the stats. It's kinda LMG light. Now, I'm not really too sure what type of plans they have for the LStar, but it's now been confirmed by an official Respawn designer that some sort of LStar update is coming. Comment down below what you guys think needs to be done to the LStar. I'm curious to hear your opinions on its current state in the game. Lastly, the devs covered one more thing in the dev stream I thought you guys would like to know about. It has to do with some potential upcoming changes to the Burst Fire Hemlok and Prowler. I'll play the clip of the dev stream for you guys right now.
The last thing I wanted to mention is that we are looking at weapons like the Burst Fire Hemlok and the Burst Fire Prowler and their current power level, as well as, always keeping an eye on all the other things. Right now, we don't feel like they are too strong or in an area that needs an emergency or a quick patch in 6.1, but we're keeping our eye on it. If it gets any more problematic, we'll make a quick patch, and otherwise we'll probably make some adjustments potentially at Season 7.
It's definitely good to hear that they're keeping an eye on the power level of burst weapons. While they don't think an emergency nerf is needed to be made as soon as possible, they did acknowledge that if it gets any more problematic, then they'll push out a quick patch, but he said if that doesn't happen, then they will potentially make some adjustments in Season 7. But that's pretty much all the news we have right now. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help me out a ton. And I've been looking for more feedback on my videos. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. It actually is the best way to support me. But it's been your boy Sethly, and I'm out.